topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
This is Beyond Confidence with your host, Divya Parekh. Do you want to live a more fulfilling life? Do you want to live your legacy and achieve your personal, professional, and financial goals? Well, coming up on Divya Parekh's Beyond Confidence, you will hear real stories of leaders, entrepreneurs, and achievers who have stepped into discomfort, shattered their status quo, and are living the life they want. You will learn how relationships are the key to achieving your aspirations and financial goals. Moving your career or business forward does not have to happen at the expense of your personal or family life, or vice versa. Learn more at www.divyaparekh.com, and you can connect with Divya at contact@divyaparekh.com. This is Beyond Confidence, and now here's your host, Divya Parekh.
Good morning, listeners. It's awesome to be here with y'all because it's Tuesday morning, and just want to share that I want to share a beautiful story. So in North Carolina, in Western North Carolina, along with Florida, we have had really some rough times. So one of my friends was in the eye, actually in the Florida, during Milton, and she shared a beautiful short story where all the neighbors came together when the power was out for almost a couple of days, and they brought whatever, their foods were and had a party because the sunny Florida, it was sunny the next day. And that is so powerful when people come together, when they're helping each other. And I can share with you so many different stories, how people are coming together and helping each other. So remember to have that kindness in your heart and help each other out. And I want to thank each and every one of you who have purchased our books. We really appreciate you. If you have not, please do get our books, because not only it's going to help you grow in your career or in your business, and also help entrepreneurs, because we donate part of the profits to kiva.org. Oh, let's bring in our guests. Well,
hey, thanks for having us, Divya.
It's wonderful to have you all. So we begin with from childhood. Do you all recall a moment when, or a person who left a positive mark on y'all?
Michael?
Well, I remember when I was a kid, my dad always helped me out and gave me assistance, especially in playing baseball, and he was my coach. And used to take me to all the games and taught me how to run the bases and how to catch and how to hit and all the secrets of baseball to be a good baseball player. Actually, I played a lot of baseball in my life. And he was always there for me, always coaching and always stepping up and filling in all the, the gaps that occur when I needed assistance or would have failed in some particular area. He would show me how to do it correctly, and we would practice. And I've always appreciated that service that he was willing to give to me as a child. It meant a lot, and I've always used that now going forward to try to be of service, literally, to other people, to be of service in some way, to be loving, to be of service, to bring something to the table that will benefit them.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have that story, Divya.
I'm sure somebody left.
Actually, no, there wasn't.
Oh.
And I grew up, everything was cool. I mean, everything was cool, but mine was very introverted, all along. And I knew I had a mission early on. And I knew to keep that to myself and not share it. Like, my journey was not typical at all. And, you know, I even left home at 17 and started college and this and that, and moved away across the country. And, you know, and at 24 is when I met Michael. He was actually my sociology instructor. And I knew the first day he walked in the classroom that we had a mission to do together. He was a soulmate. My intuition, the bells went off. And he was twice my age. You know, now we've been together 30 years. But
Oh, wow.
yeah, so my journey was different, atypical than most. Absolutely. But but it is about service. You know, Michael always reminds me, one of the first things I said to him on one of our first dates was, we're going to do this mission. We're going to call it Trust Yourself, and we're going to uplift humanity. That's what I said to him when I was 24. And he looked at me, he thought I was nuts.
Yeah, like, who cares about humanity? Let's do something for ourselves. It's like, whoa. But Nicole had already tapped into, internally, tapped into that feeling of having a mission to be of service to others, to put something together, to bring it to the table. So whatever we were doing would benefit the whole as well as ourselves. So it was interesting because I had a dream also while teaching there. It was in Texas. I've taught all over pretty much the United States, but there was a college in Texas and I was teaching. And while teaching, one night I had a very clear, vivid dream. And in it, there was a girl who was a fitness expert. And her name was Nicole, and she had blonde hair and brown eyes. And I journaled the dream, luckily, a full page of journaling. Fast forward 3 years, I'm still teaching sociology at the college. And who walks into my class and sits in the front row? The dream girl, Nicole. And I wish I would have remembered the dream, but give me a break. It had been three. All right. However, later I did find the dream. I started having deja vus, like, whoa, I've done this before. Why does this feel familiar? And because of the dream signs and intuition, deja vu, meaning having seen before, French. And that's all deja vu is. Everyone's had a deja vu. It just means it's a forgotten dream. And we've had it in the dream state, and then it occurs in our daily life, and we go, wow, does this feel familiar? And that's when I eventually found the dream. And actually, we were in Arizona at the time, and NBC sent a crew and a camera crew and recorded the whole thing with the dream and the journal and our backstory. So it was it taught me to pay attention to the important tools of dreams, signs, and intuition, and that they're all connected and they're all giving us a message. And that is what really turned my life around. I went a different direction.
So when you mentioned that when Nicole walked into your class, that you had already dreamt about her, did you go back and check the whole journaling you had done?
It was almost a year or two until I went back and checked the journal. And actually, Nicole picked up on the fact that we're supposed to be together and have a mission together and get married by her intuition. She when she walked into the classroom.
Yeah, but I waited till the next semester, and then I asked Michael out. He didn't remember the dream at all until we were together for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And then he had the deja vu, and then he grabbed the dream journal. So it was my tenacity, my insanity, my craziness in asking my teacher out the next semester. Then we were engaged. We had lunch, then dinner the next night. We were engaged in 90 days, married in 9 months, and now it's been 30 years. So yeah, it was just my tenacity and knowingness through intuition and keeping it quiet. There's a spiritual law of silence, actually. And all it means is to remain quiet about the things you're working on that are dear to you. Because it's like let's say we're working with a clay, and we're doing a pot. You only have so much clay. Well, if you start talking about your project or your plan, it's as if you're giving away parts of the clay. You don't have as much vibrational material to work with to manifest your dreams. So it's very good to keep things quiet until there's a certain point when you can certainly share things. And we all, like, you'll have an intuitive feeling of when that time is. But I knew for a long time to be quiet. I didn't even tell Michael about my intuitive hunch. I just followed it. I didn't tell my mother or anybody. I mean, I called my mom after we got married. I said, "Hey, I just eloped." So I kept everything very quiet all along. Yeah.
And that's really that's important, staying quiet. It's how we manifest things. And in manifesting things, as we begin to, have a vision of them in our imagination, and then we start working on it and moving toward the goal of bringing it here to us, whatever it is. Could be a career, could be a company, could be something that we're working on, like Divine Guidance Institute, bringing that here. It's important to keep it quiet because it keeps the energy. The energy is a ball when we perceive it inwardly through our imagination. And if we start talking about it with other people, it's like a ball of yarn. It just a thread keeps going out, and pretty soon we have less, and we don't have the full impact to really manifest it in the present moment. So it's good to hold it until we're ready to deliver the final punch.
Mm-hmm. So let's say, what you're talking about is that if you have a plan, if you have a project, then continue working on it so that way you're not spending your energy out there. What else people can do? Because so many times what happens is people are in really good places. They have got good lives. They've checked all the boxes, as we say, right? Like have a wonderful family, 2 kids and then 2.5 kids, a white picket fence, so to speak, a good job or a good business. And yet they're not feeling full. They're not feeling that fulfillment and synergy alignment in their life. So how can they bring that synchronicity, that harmony and serenity in their lives?
That's a fabulous point. And you're, in being a clinical psychologist and working with clients for 25 years, you're right. All the boxes are checked and there's still something missing. That's even why, the divorce rate is at 45% right now. And that's why the man, they have their man cave and girls have girls' night out. It's because that unfulfillment that you just spoke of. And we do have a technique, and it's simple and it sounds silly, but it's backed by science. So we're going to get into it. But we have a technique for your audience. One word that will change everything, actually, and it's called the HU. HU, HU. We call it one magic word, the universal panacea. We also refer to it as the Holy Grail, and one-step therapy, all in one.
So how did you arrive at it? Give us the story behind it, and then tell us how does it work.
Okay. The word is HU, HU, HU. I'll give you a quick demo, and then I'll back it up. HU, HU, HU. Inhale. HU. On the exhale. The cool thing is you can do it out loud or silently, eyes open or closed. So you can do it while you're doing the dishes, and you can do it while you're sitting in a business meeting. No one has to know. So that's the user-friendly part. Now to back it up, we'll just give you a little history. The word HU is actually in the Oxford English Dictionary under the word human. The word human is where the word HU comes from. And so there's a path entitled Eckankar, Eckankar, and they use the word HU as a technique to help make things better in your life. So that's where we found the word HU, through Eckankar. However, we said, let's take this further. And so we've researched the word. and used it with clients, evidence-based, theory and field experience. So, okay, it's in the Oxford Dictionary. They used to hew at the Sphinx 5,000 years ago from dusk until dawn to raise the vibrations of society. So the word goes way, way back. And then in our research, we found it in 14 different paths and their sacred texts. So it's got quite a history there. Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. So what you're saying is like, say the word during both inhalation and exhalation.
Really just on the exhale.
Just on the exhale.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you can think it. So you don't even have to, use any certain method. It's just that effective. And the thing is, if we can go into the science a little bit, if that's okay.
Please go ahead.
It's based on vibrational therapy and vibroacoustic therapy. And so we're talking sound and vibration. The cool thing is with vibroacoustic therapy, you use something outside of yourself. You use a pillow, a CD, something outside of yourself to act upon your cells. But with the hue, it's from the inside out. I mean, you don't need anything out here. What it does, we've got our central nervous system. You've got your cells, our atoms, and our subatomic particles. In other words, we're just a ball of energy, as you know. And we all vibrate at a certain rate and frequency. And that's what gives us the harmony within, or lack thereof, Divya. If you're feeling stressed or anxious or depressed, or if you're happy, these things are manifested outwardly, ultimately from our vibrations. So the whole thing with using one magic word or the hue is it actually lifts your vibrations higher. It's that certain frequency with that word that takes you above duality. Like in yoga, they do Om, and that takes you to the mental plane. So it handles the emotions and some of the mental. But the hue, because we've tested it takes you way up and beyond the planes of duality. So it handles your emotions and negative thought patterns. And it really helps you tap into your higher self. The best version of you is what you're going to get. The best version of you.
And it works 24/7. I mean, there's the Bible. Take the Bible. You could take the Torah, the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, whatever. And John 1:1, it says, in the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word was God. And I used to, way back in high school, I studied with the Jesuits, went to a private high school for 4 years. And I used to ask them, Father, what's that word that created everything, the known universe, everything? In the beginning was the Word. What is the Word? They had not a clue. And they all had 2 or 3 PhDs each, very smart, very quick, but none of them knew. And it's real ancient. Then the word was lost. It's very, very powerful. And if you think about it, if it created the known universe, think about how powerful it is. We can use it. We can heal ourselves. We've worked with thousands of clients and testimonials. I've even worked with sports figures, professional sports figures who were super skeptical. One of the Lakers, and he was coming back to school, to college, to get his MBA, and I was his counselor, and he wasn't even on the rolls. He's so famous. They kept him off and I walked in, I said, so what's keeping you from doing this? What's your major, the way you see it? He said, Mike, I play with the team. He said, I've got endorsements. I got a family. He said, oh my God, I can't believe I'm even here. But it's been a secret dream of mine to get the MBA. I said, okay, I'll share something with you. I'll get rid of your anxiety and your fear and your worry. And I gave him the hue, and he bust out laughing. And he said, you're kidding me. I've got all these things I'm facing and complications and problems, and you've got me humming. And I said, bro, don't knock it till you try it. And he said, okay, fair enough. Month goes by, fast forward. It's time to meet again, see how the program's going, what questions he's got. But when I walked in, before he could say anything, just to tease him, I said, have you been hewing? Knowing that he's probably not. And he's a skeptic. He said, Mike, He said, have I been hewing? My family's hewing. He said, the coach of the team is now hewing. And he said, and I'll tell you why, because it works. It took my game to another level. The focus, oh my God. So whether someone believes in it, skeptical or not skeptical, it kicks in and works in a matter of 10, 20, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. We call it the 60-second therapy hack. So if you're suicidal, I mean, think about how people get when they're suicidal. When I came back from Vietnam, I had a PTSD that was severe. So I had nightmares, anxiety, depressed every day, suicidal some days, gun to my head. All this was going on, very dark night of soul. And I found the hew. And I was headed to the doctors at the VA to get some medications and see what they had to say. But before I went, I found the hew. I started hewing. And within a very short period of time, all of those dramatic symptoms started lessening, and eventually they went away. And that was because the hew works with anxiety, depression, nightmares, suicidal ideation. And I know it. And we've had so many thousands of clients give testimonials like, oh my God, I could feel it immediately. So that's how it works.
Thank you for your services, Mike. And when our heroes and sheroes come back, it is a dark time. And if this can help them, and if it can help uplift the humanity, why not? It's a powerful word. So, Nicole, can you share with me if you've used it during counseling, like, as a clinical psychologist with your patients, and what results have you seen?
Oh, wow. That's the first thing I do actually on the first or second session is I share the hew with them. Actually, we're going to put it in peer review, and so it can be a formal modality. That's the goal for this technique. It's so powerful. And you share it with your clients or just anyone, as we've mentioned. We've even got it on a card like this. It's the technique, one-step therapy. And so we'll hand the card out to, like, if we're at a restaurant, we'll give the server a tip, and we'll give them a hew card. So we share it. It's even the license plate on our vehicle, on our Corvette. It's an H and a U, hew, one step, blah, blah, blah. So we're all about sharing it with everyone. But back to the clients. So they have different issues. Maybe it's addiction or insomnia, anxiety, the myriad of diagnoses, and symptoms. So we establish some rapport, and on the first or second session, I'm sharing the technique. I invite them to try it, right? And then things happen, then they go away, and maybe we have sessions once a week or every 2 weeks or what have you. But when they come back, all of a sudden, maybe they've been on a methadone dose, which is for opiate addicts, for 8 years. And they're like, you know what? I want to bring my dose down all of a sudden. And I'm like, have you been hewing? And they're like, well, yeah, actually. Clients with just cigarettes, I'm not smoking as much. My nightmares have gone away. Insomnia, no more insomnia. I had a client, she had sleep paralysis. And she was about to go for a sleep study and get some medication. And I'm, hey, free will. I'm all about free will. I don't block anyone from doing anything, because our whole message is trust yourself. So I said, hey, why don't you, the next time you have an episode, try the hew. Think the hew, because you're paralyzed in your sleep. You can't talk. You can't motion to somebody. You're frozen. I said, just think the hew. And I said, it's going to pull you right out of your sleep paralysis. And so the next week we met, she had 2 sleep paralysis episodes that week. And both times she said, I used the hew. I thought hew, and it pulled me right out, Nicole, right out of the sleep paralysis state. That's how powerful this word is, which is why we call it, the Holy Grail or the universal panacea. it's just, and it's really cool, and what it does, whatever someone's issues are, maybe it's depression or cigarettes, or I'm in an unhappy marriage, whatever the issue is, if someone just adds the hue, they don't change anything, just add the hue, things start shifting in their troubled areas. It's like it knows us automatically. It knows what really, it fills in the gaps. That's the best way to say it. If we're off vibrationally, and then we add this powerful vibration to our vibrational field, our electromagnetic field, it fills in the gaps, and that's how it works, kind of on autopilot. That's why it's just a miraculous. So, yeah.
And scientifically, I've been reading as a hobby. I'm not a physicist, but quantum physics for maybe 22 years now. And it's interesting because at the quantum physics level, they say everything is a vibration. That's all there is in the universe. I mean, you don't see it. You look at a couch and your dog and your cat and your spouse and your car, but actually they're vibrating. They're all vibrating. They're at a certain frequency. And we all vibrate at a certain frequency. We have a quantum signature. That's why we're all different and unique. And that's the way the hue works. When we hue, we literally shift the frequency within us at a quantum level. Everything shifts. If I were depressed, and maybe depression is 2 on a scale of 1 to 10, suddenly after hewing for 30 seconds, I go from 2 to an 8. Whoa, do I feel better? I feel in harmony. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling joy. How could that happen in that period of time? Because I went to the quantum level, did the hue, and shifted my vibrations. And a different vibration equals a different reality. That's simply how it works. That's it. And it works all the time.
And how often people need to do during the daytime, or is it certain length, or it doesn't matter?
Well, no more than 20 minutes. 20 minutes would be tops. And if they don't have a 20-minute session available, they could do 4 5-minute sessions or 2 10-minute sessions. They could do it in the morning to start their day. They could do it at night when they get in bed. They could do it, like lunchtime. It's that user-friendly. Again, while you're doing the dishes or while you're sitting in a meeting, because it's eyes open or closed, out loud or silently. So there's any time is a good time. But no more than 20 minutes, because it's that powerful. You don't need any more than 20, certainly. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. That really sounds powerful. So you also mentioned about getting it approved as a modality. So tell us, have you shared it with other clinical psychologists, and how are you going about that?
Well, we got to do the peer review process. So we've got, we've already done our EEG testing and whatnot with various clients and our field experience. So we just need to compile our data and put it in the proper format and get it submitted. So that's what we're in the middle of doing. We just started our 501c3 nonprofit, Divine Guidance Institute and Wellness Center. We just started it in April. So it's like, and why did we start it? Because of the mental health public crisis is so, it's outrageous. We just went to a restaurant we go to regularly 2 days ago, and she's like, a friend of my daughter's, her husband just killed himself. This is regular talk now, Divya. This isn't, you used to hear about these things random. Now it's regular conversation. It's crazy. It's out of control, which is why we were so compelled to start the nonprofit, which is why we're compelled to get it into a modality format, like CBT, EMDR, one-step therapy, boom, boom, boom. So it has legacy attached. And it can go out at that level. In addition to one magic word, which is a user-friendly level for everyone, because not everyone wants therapy, right? So hey, I got a word for you. So it keeps it real applicable to humanity at that level. And that's the thing. It's not about the semantics. It's that these tools are ancient, and They're 24/7 autopilot. Dreams, we dream every night, even if we don't remember. We've all witnessed a coincidence, though we didn't realize there was a message attached. And we've all had a gut feeling. And then the hue comes from the word human. That's what we are. I didn't make up the word. And so it's like these ancient tools. And if you get back to basics and start tracking your data and using the tools, it's just the results are stunning. And
it's using the whole ball of wax. It's using all of our innate abilities. And it's kind of like what you were saying at the front end of the show. All these problems in mental health are occurring, even though perhaps I have a great career, I have a family, I have children, everything is, I have money in the bank, everything is looking good. Well, why am I constantly still getting blindsided and depressed? And so we're really brought this forward now with our modern day mystery school to teach people, hey, it's great to track your data and outwardly do all your homework. But if you want to use all of your tools, you want to use the right side of your brain, your imagination, dream, signs, and intuition, and you can sidestep a lot of this adversity and your life will get so much smoother and healthier.
Mm-hmm. So what's next for y'all?
Well, let's see. Going global. There you go. We just started the 501 in April. You know, the modality will be coming out. It's global awareness, Divya. There you go.
Mm.
Yeah, we just started a podcast as well, so it's global awareness time. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's simple. The technique is simple, so it's easy because a lot of people say, I don't have time. And as you mentioned, you can do it anytime. So where can people connect with you?
Oh, wonderful. Actually, they can connect just through the website, divineguidanceinstitute.org. And, they can connect with us there, make donations to the nonprofit. They can get the books. We have books, do-it-yourself books. And we have to get them rolling, they can sign up for the free Dream Decoder mini course, which starts with one magic word and leads into, and they can sign up for that for free right on the website to get rolling.
Well, fantastic. Thank you for sharing and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Divya.
Thanks for having us, Divya.
Yeah, have a good day.
Absolutely. I wish you all the best in continuing to help people to uplift their spirits and uplift their minds. Y'all are doing some great work here. And thank you, listeners, for joining us because you are the life and the blood of this show. And thank you, Juan, for making this show technically possible. Be well and take care.
Thank you for being part of Beyond Confidence with your host, Divya Parekh. We hope you have learned more about how to start living the life you want. Each week on Beyond Confidence, you hear stories of real people who have experienced growth by overcoming their fears and building meaningful relationships. During Beyond Confidence, Divya Parekh shares what happened to her when she stepped out of her comfort zone to work directly with people across the globe. She not only coaches people how to form heart connections, but also transform relationships to mutually beneficial partnerships as they strive to live the life they want. If you are ready to live the life you want and leverage your strengths, learn more at www.divyaparekh.com. And you can connect with Divya at contact@divyaparekh.com. We look forward to you joining us next week.